Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor that I am joined with two-time OVW heavyweight champion, Smooth Johnny Spade is joining me right now. What's going on, Johnny?
Hey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing real good, and thank you so much for being on this
No
show.
problem. You actually caught me at a time where I'm getting feedback here, but you caught me at a time. It's my brother just got in from Iraq, so it's his birthday at midnight. So I'm kind of had like 2 beers. I apologize.
Hey, man, it's all good. Happy birthday to your brother, and tell him I say thank him for his service for what he do, man.
No problem. I will do that as soon as I get back inside. I wouldn't be able to hear you, so I had to walk outside. I got Shiloh Jones with me and my other brother with me, so we're just all kind of hanging out.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Again, thank.
Shiloh has no problem if you want to talk to him as well. I can pass the phone he said.
Okay, I'll definitely talk to Salo in a little bit, but I want to talk to you first. And
Absolutely.
Johnny, you've been with OVW for a very long time, but let's talk about how it all got started. How did your wrestling career begin?
I played college baseball. You got to understand, I do these interviews, and it's always the same thing, so I got to kind of mix it up. I played college baseball and left there, didn't get drafted. Decided I was going to try out professional wrestling. I liked it as a kid, just for fun, because I played baseball my whole life. I needed something to do. So I looked at a phone book. I happened to rummage, and there was Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was right across the bridge. Called Danny Davis. He called me right back up and went in, looked at it. So I can do this, and next thing you know, I go to practice, and Danny saw something in me that was a little different, and kind of got a push very early in my career, and I really didn't know anything about the business. I was just not snot-nosed little brat, just happened to be popular at the time. Danny liked me, so that's all that mattered. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where it started. I mean, and then from there, it was history. I mean, WWE bought us out. They fired a lot of guys. They decided to keep some of us around. I was one of the ones that kept around.
And what was it like back then when you first entered OVW? You was around with a lot of guys that turned out to be big stars of today. I mean, what was it like
Oh, yeah.
just being around with certain talent that got their
I
start?
mean, to me, it was normal. To you and then the people that I tell, the wrestlers that I tell about the way it used to be then compared to what it is now, they think it's surreal. I mean, I was sitting in a locker room. It was just normal, man. We had a little bitty old locker room back then. It wasn't the arena that we're at now. And, I mean, in the locker room, they're set Mark Henry, John Cena. I was living with Randy Orton and Danny Basham at the time. We were all training together. And, I mean, we had, everybody was big show was coming in and out. Rico Constantino, oh, gosh, for days. I've seen everybody come in and out here. I mean, I was when Elijah Burke and, like, Johnny Jeter, when they were just starting, I was already a veteran on television. So to me, it was normal. To you, we had Nick Rob, which ended up being Eugene, Rob Conway. We had Doug Basham. But me and the Damager, which was Danny Basham, we were really good friends. So we kind of started together, trained together, and then we got a house. While we were training her, and then Randy ended up moving in with us. And then a handsome Jason Lee ended up moving in with us. It was like a fraternity full of wrestlers. It was pretty wild back then. There's a lot of stories that I wouldn't even get into with that. But
All right, for those just tuning in, you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on ITMIRadio.com. I am joined with two-time Ohio Valley Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, and I know he'll be a third time again, Smooth Johnny Spade. And speaking of championships, considering you've been an original, you've been there for a long time, and early this year, you finally won the Ohio Valley Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. I have to say, that was the biggest moment in Ohio Valley Wrestling 2012.
hey, I appreciate that.
And how did it feel when, after all the blood, the sweat, the tears, the many times you've been in OVW, how did it feel to win that title?
It was awesome. 10 years ago, back when we had Cena and everybody there was talk of me doing something with Sylvester when I beat Sheldon Benjamin to get the spot on the roster. There was talk of me possibly working Nick Dinsmore for the title when I was young, and I thought it would have boosted my career, but they chose to go a different route. And I don't know if it was politics that shot it down or what, but it is what it is. And I kind of deteriorated from that point. And so for me to finally do it, I mean, I've won the light heavyweight title 3 times, so did tag straps twice. But for me to finally do it here now, late in my career, coming back this late in the game, I left Ohio Valley from concussion I suffered with Bradshaw, and then when I kind of left, I just did the Indies after about a year. I had to stay away for a while. And coming back home and finally redoing it again, I never really thought that I would be this close to get another contract or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, I haven't even looked at it very harshly, and hopefully soon you'll see me on national television. But definitely winning the title helped. But everybody knew who I was, at least the boys synonymously know who Johnny Spade is. I've been around the business a long time, but finally I'm getting the accolades, and I feel like I deserved it a long time ago. But you got to remember, like 12 years ago, man, it wasn't relevant for a small guy to win a title, you know. So once all this started going down in the last 10 years, it's paved the way for them to be like, hey, if they're entertaining and they can work and they're doing a great job, there's no reason that they can't, you know, like be the face of the company. It wasn't like that, man. Back in the day, me and Johnny Jeter were the smallest guys in the damn locker room. And now it's not about your size. It's about what you put in. The boys look at me with respect, and I respect them, and I'm a leader in the locker room. And, I mean, right now it's my time. It's my time now, or you know, I'm going to be out of the ball game soon. We'll find out.
And with your title reign came big-time matches. You had multiple great matches with Jamin Olivencia.
Absolutely.
I would have to say, if you winning the championship was my favorite, then your feud with Jamin has to be my second. I mean, every time when y'all two step foot in that ring, it is a clinic, and it is fun to watch.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, I've wrestled a lot of guys. There was a big match in my career when it was me and Sylvester Turkey against Brock and Shelton. And I've had a lot of big matches, but the angle that I had with Jamin Olivencia was amazing. There was a lot of publicity on the indie scene about it. The boys up top had heard about it. Like, you know, Randy tweeted, texted me, and he was like, dude, you know, people said something about your match. And, you know, the first match we had was okay, and, you know, the boys liked it, but we didn't feel it was good enough. And the second one was better, and we were like, okay, well, we topped the first, so it wasn't that good. But the Iron Man match that we had, oh, my God. I remember 30 minutes of exhaustion and telling a story and trying to get the fans behind it was amazing. And I remember them all chanting, you know, oh, this is us. I remember all that shit. But when I watched it back, sometimes I'll fast forward through stuff to get to certain points. And this was obviously a 30-minute match, and I didn't fast forward at one time. We told a story from start to finish. The commentators were behind it, because if the commentators find something to change the story, you're boring them. Oh, it was for us to keep the crowd entertained and involved for that long of a period of time. I was very happy. It's one of the best matches in my career, and I'll tell you right now, I've wrestled probably close to 1,500 or 2,000.
Wow, that's definitely crazy.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: you being OVW and everything, as you know, and all of us know by now, it's been about a year since OVW has become the official developmental territory for Impact Wrestling.
Sure.
What's your take on the progress that the OVW and TNA has had together with the gut check, with Alex Silver and Taylor Hendricks got their contracts? I mean, what you think about the direction that they are going with this relationship?
Well, I thought maybe when they first did it that there would be a few of us that would get signed immediately. It's not really the case. It's not like it was for WWE. I'm extremely ecstatic for Alex and Taylor because they're my friends, and I was so happy to see them. And, you know, there's a lot of people in the business that get jealous or whatever, but that means they're just insecure about their spots. I'm never insecure about my spot. I've been doing this a long time. I've been passed on, turned on, and when you see things happen, it just doesn't surprise me anymore as long as I've been doing this. I mean, I'll be 15 years in November since I've been doing this. And so I was extremely pleased for both of them. I was happy. They're both young. They're hungry. They're amazing people. And, you know, I could have been more pleased. Now, I'm just waiting for everybody's turn. It's going to eventually happen, I think. It's just we're in the right spot if that's where you want to go. And not to mention just there. I mean, Ohio Valley, if you're not signed with TNA, I mean, people are still getting signed out of here to go to WWE. I mean, Ohio Valley is the Harvard of wrestling. If you're going to, if you want to get looked at, you want to go, that's where you go. I mean, that's it. I mean, and I was fortunate enough to start there.
And what's your take on the concept of gut check? What do you think about how it is looked, and is that something that obviously I believe you on deck, to use a baseball term? You're a former baseball player. I believe you on deck. I believe Jamin's on deck. I believe a lot of guys on deck.
Everyone thought me or Jamin or Ollie would be one of the first ones to go. Well, we weren't, but there was a reason for that. We were mainstays at OVW at the time. I had the title. They couldn't really do anything with me at the time, and it was a last-second decision to send Alex. So it wasn't like, we were on TV that day, and they couldn't just send guys with titles or whatever the case. But he deserved it. And we're all just waiting our turn, and I don't really care for gut check. If it's my shot, I'll do it. I've got a story to tell, whatever. I feel like I've been doing this long enough that they could bring me in as just a new wrestler on a new face, and I'll be fine. I don't know. I mean, I've been doing this industry for a long time. People know my face. I've kind of got a following. So it's very kind of CM Punk before he made it. Same situation. It's just a matter of time for me. I'm just waiting. And it's what sucks is I have to wait, and I'm not getting any younger. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, obviously, OVW got a couple of big shows coming up. They got the Saturday Night Special. They do this like every first or second Saturday of the month. But
Correct.
tomorrow, you coming to my neck of the woods. You coming to Frankfurt, Western Hills High School. Talk a bit about the Frankfurt show and the other shows that OVW's got coming up.
Yeah, I got tomorrow, and I got Elizabethtown on Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be in Frankfurt. Of course, Saturday Night Special, I'm pretty sure I'll be wrestling Doug Williams, which I'm looking forward to. Another thing is every TNA guy they bring in, I feel like I've been wrestling them. I did Rob Terry for like 6 months. I did Jesse Goddard's when I was with Shiloh when we were tag partners. I did Crimson when he first got here. So every guy they bring in, and the first guy they put with is me. And it's like, here I sit, so I'm just kind of waiting. But I love it. I mean, it's, right now it's, next to my daughter, wrestling is my life, and it just sometimes you either get paid or you don't, and I'm tired of these 5-star matches. I'm ready for a 5-star paycheck.
Understandable, man. Understandable. And for more info on OVW, you can go to their website at www.ovwrestling.com. By the way, you can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Spade. And check this guy out. If you don't know what Johnny Spade is, you need to recognize. This is
I appreciate it.
This is a true talent. Paid his dues, worked hard, had his ups and downs, but kept fighting. And he's a 2-time former world champion. And by the way, congrats to you. You were listed on the PWI Top 500 Wrestlers of 2000.
You know, it's funny, actually, that you mentioned that. 10 years ago, I made it 3 years in a row. I made it all the way down to, I think, maybe, I don't remember. Was it 130th or 200? I went from 400 to 200 to 100 and something, and that was 10 years ago. Here I am 10 years later, and never thought I would be back in the game like I am, and here I'm back in it. So, but if, you read the paragraph, they put me over, well, this guy's wrestled the best talents in the business. And I'm thinking, well, I'm only 467, but then again, I'm not 468, so I was happy to be there.
Definitely congratulations. I mean, that's a lot of people for them to look over from the indies to the pros, but I mean, just to be there, I guess regardless of where you rank, it means they're paying attention. They know they know what you're doing. So other than the OVW, do you have anything else outside of OVW in the works, or you just that's your main focus right now?
Well, obviously my main focus is Ohio Valley. TNA, I did some house shows for TNA. I did a little tour with them. That's not anything that was on TV, so I'm just kind of waiting. And like every wrestler, it's like a waiting game, and it was an honor to be able to do that. So, the boys know me up there. The agents know me. And I just listen and I wait. And obviously, I love Ohio Valley. It will always be my home. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, where I was born and raised. So no matter what, I will always be here. But at the same time, I'm ready to move up. I feel like I've been doing this a long time, and there's no better time for me than now.
And how do you want people to remember Johnny Spade? When it is time for you to move on to the next phase in your life, when wrestling.
That's real simple. I love this business, and there's nothing more than I would rather have behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, in front of the camera, as someone who came out every night and entertains you. But no matter what I do, I love this business. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a police officer. What I am is a wrestler. I will always be that, whether I'm in the back helping other wrestlers, whether I'm right in front of you entertaining all you guys. This is what I love. And I'm blessed and happy to do it, and I just want to be able to be happy and make a living to continue to do what I do and I love.
All right. Speaking of Shiloh, I did ask him if he wanted to do an interview. He said he'll do it a few weeks after. I know you said he was right next to you.
Yeah, he's inside now, but
yeah, I'll talk to Shiloh some other time.
No problem, my friend. I just threw it out there because I know my brother's in there, and I was a little strapped for time, and I promised you I'd do this, and I forgot. It was his birthday at midnight, but I wasn't going to fall back on this interview ahead with you, and I really appreciate you having me, and I thank you very much for following me. And it was an honor to just be on the show. I appreciate it, man.
I'm the one should be saying it's an honor to have you on. You're the two-time OVW heavyweight champion.
Yeah, man. I'm just, I'm a humble guy. I'm not your average dick, so I apologize. It's just me. And maybe it's the reason that people respect me and like me in the business. I'll tell them if they do something wrong, I'll make sure I make my fucking presence felt. Excuse my language. I make my presence felt very, very fiercely. But other than that, I'm one of the nicest guys you'll meet. I mean, at least some of the guys I would think would say that.
And it's okay, man. You can curse if you want to. This ain't no PG show, man. It's all good. But you go ahead and celebrate birthday with your brother and hang with Shiloh. I'll see you tomorrow night in Western Hills. Thank you so much for your time. Continued success to you and OVW. Everyone, they'll be at Frankfurt tomorrow. They'll be at other areas in Kentucky. And be on the lookout for Saturday Night Special, November 3rd. OVWrestling.com for more info. Johnny Spade's joining me. Thank you again for your time. Go ahead and celebrate with your brother. And,
thanks for having me, my friend, and we'll do it again. Hopefully next time I'll be on a bigger level for you.
All right, man. You have a good night.
All right, be good.
All right, bye-bye. That was Smooth Johnny Spade joining me here. Took the time and hang out with yours truly. Very cool cat, man, and it's amazing to see what he's able to do, overcome so much to accomplish so much in his career. I mean, it's just incredible.